Boys, in the last video we bought ourselves a bandsaw. This guy right here. Today's video we're gonna do a little cutting on the bandsaw. Now, what we got here, I don't know. Should I go through this whole thing? I don't know. I'll go through the whole thing. Gravity feed bandsaw. This is a Harbor Freight, whatever it is. I don't even remember what it's called now. It's here we go. Central machinery, vertical, horizontal, metal cutting bandsaw. 120 volt, the whole deal. This is actually super nice part of it. This is a clamp right here. Turn this thing, unclamp, reclamp type of deal. Got a spring back here. This is how you raise and lower the you know, the spring tension to how fast this thing falls. What we're cutting today is just some good old 2x2 120 wall little square tubing, and let's cut it. Pretty darn quiet. This is the stock blade that comes with it. This was a, I think it's a 64-inch blade by ½ inch. This is just the blade that comes with it. The saw doesn't have any kind of like cooling or anything like that. It's just a gravity fed. You know, it's nothing special. It's just like the base of the base kind of a thing, you know. I've made cuts on this thing with this saw before, and the complaints that I have is how hot this stuff gets. This side, this is just the I don't know what they call it, the worm. I don't remember what they call it. This is just like an idler type of thing. This is, well, it's not even an idler. This is the side that's actually connected to the gearbox, which runs the blade. This stuff gets real hot, and I don't know if it's because this thing's wobbly or if it's because this is like a because of the material that this belt is made out of, or what the deal is. But you know, they're not by any means precision. But it does cut, you know, halfway decent. Doesn't do a horrible job. Now again, this is a stock blade. I do plan on putting a different blade on it eventually, but of course, you know, I don't know what blade I'll get. I haven't done any research on any of that kind of stuff. I mean, you definitely can't get in any kind of hurry with it. You can put a little pressure on it, and it'll cut. You know, it'll cut faster than what I'm making it, than what I'm asking it to, I guess I should say. But the reason I'm cutting it so slow is, one, I have the time, and two, I don't want to wear the blade out. I don't want to have to be wearing blades all the time. I don't want to have to be buying blades all the time. So if I'm nice to it, you know, hopefully it'll last a little longer. But again, this is the stock blade that comes with the saw, so it's nothing special. But I can tell you, when it gets through this stuff, you can pick it up and the blade is cold to the touch. Like, it's not hot at all. So that's definitely a good thing. One of the nicest features that I've found so far about this saw is this little piece right here. When this thing gets through cutting, this falls down and hits the on-off switch and shuts it off. So in theory, you can walk away and not worry about this thing. It'll just cut, and when it's done cutting, it'll turn itself off. No worry. As far as the blade guide goes, this side will move a little. I don't understand why it's so far back. I'm probably going to move that up a bit. But this side, this is as far in as it goes. Like, this is your kind of like a guide thing, you know. And it's a cheap saw, so obviously it's not perfect. You can see just moving it that little bit, I tore all the paint off of it right there. So there is a little adjustability over here, and I am going to adjust that up, but this is all the further it'll move. So you get maybe an inch of adjustment out of that side, and then this side you get like 3 inches maybe. But if you want to do any kind of production cutting, you are in a hurry, any of those sorts of things, this is not the saw for you. The saw cuts pretty slow. It, you know, I mean, it cuts it, don't worry. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it does take it, the way that I have it set up right now, to get through this piece of 2x2, it'll probably take it, probably 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes it would take it to get through that. Now, you maybe notice there's a gap between the face here and the bottom of the material, and that's because the stool that I have it on is just ever so slightly taller than the face of this saw. Now, I haven't done any angle cuts with this at all, and I plan to. I just haven't done it yet. I do kind of want to mess around with it a little bit. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to try to reset this right here with the blade and that stop and make sure that it is true 90. I'm pretty sure it is, because shut that off for a second. Pretty sure that it is a good 90 this way, but I know that the blade is not cutting straight. You can look here, just with a speed square, you can see that it is slightly off that direction, which that's the way that it was actually cut like this. So that means the blade veered. This way, however, is, well, it's a little bit off that way too, I guess. Not as bad, but a little bit. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a little off that direction too. So I do need to mess around a bit with the you know, getting it squared up and stuff. I still need to do some angle cuts, things like that. But as far as ease of use, as far as, you know, price, as far as all those things, I'd buy it again. Having it and using it and doing those kind of things, yeah, I would absolutely purchase it a second time. And like I said earlier, I'm not in a huge hurry. You know, I have time when I'm doing these things. I have time, and the fact that I can turn it on and walk away from it, and it's going to shut itself off, that's a cool feature to me. Like that means that I can be multitasking. I can set this thing up, get it running, and I'm not going to have to worry about it doing anything crazy or, you know, anything like that, because it's just running. Like, there's nothing crazy for it to do. So that's a nice feature. I do want to, like I said, I want to do some different blades in it, check it out. But as far as we're talking like price, we're talking affordability, you know, those kind of things. The blades aren't that expensive. The saw itself isn't that expensive. It's super compact. If you're going to the store and you're even considering this thing and you're thinking like, oh man, that's probably overkill, it probably is, but it's small enough you can hide it in a corner real easy. It doesn't take up much space. It is versatile in the fact that you do have a vertical bandsaw as well. You can take this plate here, and this plate sits right there like that. So now you have a vertical bandsaw as well. It does have a groove in it, so if you have a table saw like so, and you have like a pusher guide type of thing, that'll fit right into this, and you'll have the same type of guide for your vertical bandsaw. I mean, honestly, I can't say enough good things about it. It's made freaking solid. I mean, this top is heavy. And if you buy one of these things, I guarantee you when you put this base together, you're gonna go, there's no way that's holding that thing up if you've moved it on your own at that point. Because that's exactly what I thought. But now that I have it put together and I've used it and everything, the base is super solid. But this top has to be on it for the base to be super solid. So, I don't know. I got all good things to say about it. Like I said, I could use some more adjustment here. As far as the blade guides go, I could use some more adjustment there. Yeah, it's kind of a give or take thing. I haven't put a ton of time on it yet. Again, but you know, at this point, my only legitimate complaint is these things, is these rollers, and just for the fact that, I mean, right now they're almost too hot for me to leave my hand on. You know, so they're warm, and I didn't even get halfway through this 2x2. So that's really my only complaint about it at this point. Everything else, I'm real happy with it. It was easy to set up. The instructions were clear enough. Yeah, you know, that my only recommendation is that instead of being like mean and cheap and using a stool, get one of those. They're like an adjustable stand with a roller on top of it. Harbor Freight sells them. Get one of those so you can adjust it, get everything level and nice like you need, so that you're not trying to move something back and forth and re-leveling and doing all this stuff over and over again. It's just easier if you have that thing. So as far as accessories go, that's where I would go. Now, I'm going to say it again, this is still the stock blade. I am going to try other blades. Look for, I don't know much about bandsaws or much about bandsaw blades. So one thing that I really want to do is, I'm going to do some research on some blades and find some, like whatever a blade, like try and find a really good quality blade in this size for just mild steel, because that's all I ever have is mild steel. So that'll be my next thing, and I probably won't make a whole nother video just because of a blade, but I will definitely throw it in a video somewhere when I get a new blade on this and say how it's doing or whatever, because that's one of those things that I think should be said. But my conclusion after using it, and again, I haven't had this that long, I'm going to cut some wood in it, but I know that it's going to cut wood just fine. Stuff like that, I love it. I have no buyer's remorse whatsoever. Really, it's affordable, 260 bucks. You can get a coupon, those kind of things, and if you're the club member, then you get a little bit more off of it. So if you're considering it and you're kind of on the fence going one way or the other for any multitude of reasons, maybe you think it's overkill, maybe you think it's Harbor Freight, it's got to be cheap. Yeah, it is Harbor Freight, it is cheap. No, it's not overkill. This saw will serve you well and will do everything you need it to do, as far as, as long as you understand the limitations of the saw. It is only capable of a 4x6 cut. Like if you put a 4x6 piece of material in it, that's the biggest thing that they say it'll cut. So as long as you understand the limitations and the boundaries of this saw, and you're not trying to use it in like an industrial setting, you're fine. You'll love it. It'll work great, and it'll do everything you need it to do. I would definitely recommend buying it. If this thing breaks in 2 years, I'll buy another one. If it breaks in 2 months, I probably won't. That seems kind of ridiculous to get 2 months out of the saw before it breaks. But if Harbor Freight, does right and like replaces it or something like that, then I might consider, getting a replacement part and stuff like that and seeing. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoy it. I think it's a good saw. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't have tons of experience with bandsaws, but for what it is, for small home jobber deals, I think it's great. And if you're considering, you should probably just go ahead and do it, because most of the time when you build small stuff in your home garage, this thing will take care of any of that stuff. So that's my opinion. I like it. I'll buy it again. As far as the longevity, as long as the longevity is decent. So Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you're here for the first time, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you all in the next one.